Hey, everybody, this is Ayanna Hawkins with At Home Realty. I wanted to do I hope, a very quick video about this north-south corridor that you all have probably been hearing about within the last few months as this is finally coming into fruition. But the one thing that a lot of us have been trying to figure out is where the heck is it gonna go? So this was something that I came across kind of by accident this morning. So I wanted to share it with you guys, and hopefully it gives you some clarity on what is to come. Now, this north-south corridor has officially been named State Route 505. Somebody asked, where's the 404? I have no idea. That's not my concern in this particular video. But this new freeway is supposed to connect US 60 and Apache Junction, which is actually Pinal County, to Eloy, which is also Pinal County off of the I-10 between Casa Grande and Tucson. This is going to significantly impact growth and mobility across Pinal County. So that is why this particular road is so important. If you live in this area and you've had to travel from one end of it to the other end, you have been frustrated beyond recognition. How do I know? Because I've had to do it. I don't know how many times I've had to go from Arizona City to Apache Junction or East Mesa and have to finagle my way to it because there's no direct route. You have to find a way, and thank goodness for Google Maps and Apple Maps and Waze or whatever you use, but it is very frustrating to get from one side to the other, and not only frustrating, but also time consuming. So this is going to help in that regard. It's even going to help you get from one major uh, city to another, if you think about it in that regard as well. You don't necessarily have to take the 10 to go from, well, you will, but you don't have to take the entire 10 to get from Phoenix to Tucson once this road comes into play, because this now can, I don't know if it'll, how much time it'll actually cut, but depending on where you are in Phoenix or North Mesa, there's a weird way you have to get if you want it to go down to Tucson. So this is going to change that, and it should help to alleviate some of the traffic on Interstate 10 in that area over by Casa Grande, Maricopa, well, towards Maricopa in that particular area as well. So this is going to be major for us once this happens. But like I said, one thing we were trying to figure out is where is it going to be? If you live in this area, particularly Florence, I don't know about any of the other, maybe Santan Valley, you've been getting those postcards in the mail that has like the rendering of where it's going to go, but you can't tell that from that little postcard. So they have this website, and I'll make sure I put it in the video description of where you can go to see where the interchanges are going to be and where this actual road is going to be. Thank goodness for this map. So let's go ahead and pop over to it. Now, a little bit about this particular, I don't know, road. So it's going to be 55 miles long. That tells you, like, think about that. If this road alone is supposed to be 55 miles, imagine trying to go around it and how much time and how many miles that is to go around it to get from, say, Eloy to Apache Junction, which you can do now. I'm not going to say you can't, but you're going to do it on a two-lane road going through Coolidge, going through Eloy, going through Florence, and then, possibly taking that back road to the 60 on the 79. It's a lot. Like, it's a whole lot. And goodness forbid there's an accident and then you can just cut it, or you got to go a completely different route. And it's just so frustrating. So this is major for me, especially in the realm of real estate, not because, oh, this is going to be great for home sales or whatever. This is going to be great just for travel. That part alone, we do a lot of driving in this field, and there's a lot of businesses and uh, industries that do a lot of traveling as well. So this is going to help with that. So it looks like this thing is going to be split into two segments. The segment that goes from US 60 to Arizona Farms Road, which splits Santan Valley and Florence. And segment two is going to be from Arizona Farms Road down to the 10 in Eloy. So I'm going to use this map to show you what I'm talking about. So this right here, if you can see my mouse, this is going to be off of the US 60. Now, where off the US 60? That was where I was trying to figure out. Now, this exit here is, I want to say, the last exit, Goldfield Road, that you can take to get, or the first, depending on which direction you're coming from. That's going to get you into Apache Junction. Once you hit this little curve here, that's going to be into Gold Canyon. And then from there, if you already make this trip, as I've done multiple times, you're going to take this whole US 60 stretch all the way down here to 79 to get into Florence. So you see Arizona Farms Road here. Okay. That's the 79. That's the route we have to take now. So let me zoom out so you can see. This is the current route just to get from Apache Junction to Florence. So we're talking here, all the way down here, come back west to get to this little area if you happen to live over here. If you live in Old Florence, then you have to go down this way. Even worse if you got to go to Coolidge or Eloy. So this extension here, this north-south corridor, is going to cut a lot of time. Now, the problem that I'm having with, well, I'm not the problem because there's actually a meeting that's going to take place. And there have been a few meetings in the past where they've, I guess, asked the public their opinion on certain things. My opinion is I hope that they don't make this into what they did with the 24. And what I mean by that is the 24 is a stretch of road, which I'm going to see if I can find it from here. Here's the 24 extension that goes from the 202 to Ironwood, which was supposed to alleviate traffic for all these people here in Queen Creek and Santan Valley. And then eventually this here is going to connect right here. So then the people that live here in Florence, Coolidge, blah, 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 they can actually keep going here instead of having to go through Santan to get home or get to work, whichever direction you're going to be traveling. Well, this 24 extension, why it annoys me is because there is a light, I swear, every maybe 200 feet or so, and the speed limit is 45. So yeah, you're getting a little bit of relief, but also you gotta time the lights right so that it doesn't take you actually more time than it would have took you if you just went all the way up to the 60 from here or went all the way up Ellsworth/Hunt Highway up to the 202 or 24th or wherever the heck that road is up that way. So did it really help? I don't know. I don't feel like it did because I feel like the time is still there for this 24, mainly because of that. And then the second part is because the speed limit is only 45, a lot of people find themselves not doing the speed limit. So that's something to consider as well. Why give us this road and we can't really use it to its full capacity? So hopefully, this 505 extension is because it's straight rural. These are exits I get, and at some point, I'm sure this is going to be developed land. I don't know how much of this land is state land, but if it's going to be developed land, then yeah, I guess I kind of get having the speed limit lower. But if this is just going to be a straight freeway, basically, I hope that we at least get 55, 60 on this road so that we can use it. Otherwise, why am I here? Because if you go down to, I think it's the 87 from Coolidge to the 10, it goes through Coolidge, Eloy, and then hits the 10. The speed limit on that is 65. So hopefully they give us the same courtesy on this 505 extension. So I'm gonna get off the soapbox for that one at this moment. So again, we're gonna go back up to where this starts. So this is gonna start at the 60, just past Goldfield Road, before you get to Gold Canyon. So you're supposed to cut off, and then there'll be an exit here called Houston Avenue. I don't know what this gets off at. I'm gonna assume that's somewhere in Apache Junction. That's coming in the future because as of right now, you see there's nothing there. So there's a road, but that's all there is. So stand by on what's going to happen in this Houston Avenue area. Now you go a little further down, this is going to connect to Elliott Road. Now Elliott Road goes back. That's one of those roads that, if I'm not mistaken, goes all the way to the West Valley. So that's a road that takes you all the way across. So if there's an exchange here at quote unquote Elliott Road, again, wondering what that's going to mean for development right there in this area as well. Again, all of this, I don't know how much of it is state land and how much of it is not. As of right now, if you kind of see my mouse, this is Ironwood. There's development going up on Ironwood right now. This map doesn't really show it because I think this map is older. But as you can see, This area here, these are completely built neighborhoods at this point. There's a neighborhood over here also. You can see where they started it, but it's completed now. And I'm sure there's going to be more of that happening here as well. So you keep going down, there's Elliott Road. Go down a little further, you got Ray Road. So here's Ray here. So look where that can connect. There's the potential for that to go all the way straight down if development happens. Now, this 24, we already talked about a little bit. That is a whole different situation that's going on, but I do know that is in the works as well. You come down a little further, there's going to be a Germain Road interchange. So I'm assuming at some point this is going to connect all the way to Germain Road. So these are um, secondary and auxiliary things that are going to happen later down the road. I am sure of it. But as of right now, this is just going to be one straight road. But at some point, these roads are going to connect into Santan Valley. So they're going to feed off into there. So not only are you going to have this one straight road to go down here, but then you're going to have these extra roads to get to these. So again, say if you live in Magma Ranch over here, you get off on your exit and you say, hey, I want to go over to Santan Valley to, or no, I want to go to East Mesa. You don't have to go up this way. Maybe you'll end up going this way. I don't know what those plans are. I haven't been to one of those meetings yet, but I do intend to go at some point so I can get a better idea of what's happening. So we're going to come down a little bit more. You've got the Ocotillo, which that road is already there, I believe. So Ocotillo, as of right now, this should be Castlegate, which is the last neighborhood before there's like nothingness. So this should be Schnepp and Combs, I think, this road here. And then this goes all the way down, but this isn't developed. Like this is the end of that street. So at some point there may be an extension that takes you from Ocotillo on down. So again, if you're coming from Florence, you can hop off this Ocotillo exit and go this way, as opposed to having to go all the way through Santan Valley just to get over to that area. If you need to go over there for whatever reason. Here's going to be Combs and Riggs, which is, let me see. Ooh, I can't see it. That looks weird. I can't see this one. There we go. So there's Riggs Road. As of right now, Riggs Road ends at here's Gansel. It turns into a different road. It turns into Combs. And then from here, it ends somewhere back here. This is, I want to say Archer Meadows. If you know your neighborhoods, this makes a lot of sense. If you don't, you're like, what the heck are you talking about? So this little action, X area here is developed. They're still building here. I can't remember the builder that's in this, either Taylor Morrison, one of those big builders are over here. All of this is pretty much built out. This is being worked on right now. And then over here, right now it's still farmland. And then it just goes again into nothingness. And then down here, we've got Skyline. So Skyline Drive is probably where you're gonna start seeing us Florence people come into play. So the Skyline Drive exit here is going to be, what is this road? Bell Vista? Or I'm not quite sure. I can't see what road it is. Okay, give me a second. All right, give me a second. I'm trying to get it together for you. Okay, so here's Quail Run. So right now, we live here in this area down here. So there's two ways we can get into Santan from here. We can go up Hunt Highway this way and then go into Santan, as you can see, or we can go what we call the back way, which takes us down Felix, Arizona Farms, and then you cut up Attaway, go down Judd, come up Quail Run, and then Skyline is somewhere up here. So here's Skyline Drive. So this area here, there's I think all of it's unincorporated, but there's a little section here where there's a builder who built back here. D.R. Horton has an entire neighborhood back this way, so that's going to be major for this neighborhood. Right down here, you've got KB Homes is building where? Give me a second. This section here, KB Homes is developing this area right here in the corner. A little further down, this is being developed by Lancy Homes, which is going to be North Coast soon, and Meritage Homes. are in this section here. This is already built out. So this is going to be a major interchange for these people that now they don't have to go through Santan. They can just come home off the highway, hop off, and then they're home. Now, this area over here, which is a pretty big area, which is Magma Ranch and Magma Ranch Vistas, their exit would be this Judd exit here. Now, this exit is one that there are people that also live here and that are non-HOA, but these are all HOA people in this section. So that's going to be major for them. And if you don't necessarily want to go to this Bella Vista exit, come down to Judd Road if you live over here in Quail Run, and you can hit that area here. Now, this section is like solar panels. So you don't have to worry about houses there, but there's a lot of development going on. Actually, no, let me take that back. Give me a second. If this is Attaway, they're still building here, I think. And then over here is where the solar farm is. Now, the difference between these two, I guess these are the different options that they have because there's like a big cone, as you can see down here. And it looks like they've got this part figured out, which highway is going to go what. Either that or one of these is your north and one of these is your south. I'll have to look at the other page and see. So they're going to be split a little bit, obviously, I'm guessing because of the land. And then they're going to join back up. And then we're down at Arizona Farms. Now, this exit is going to be major because you've got um, Merrill Ranch, you've got Crestville Manor, you've got a big neighborhood here called Mesquite Trails that's being built. There's going to be another neighborhood in this area somewhere by the railroad track. Century Complete is going to be building in there. And then you are going to have who else? Actually, up here. There we go. Century Complete is building in here. You got the Magic Ranch people. There are businesses here off Arizona Farms. There's a huge church of that area. There's a right here on this corner is a government building that's there. So this exit is going to be major for all of these people here. And this little area here, Merrill Ranch, is going to be expanding to this side of the highway. Now, this is where this section kind of starts to affect me personally because I do live in this section. And so for me to um this is great because again, I hop off the highway and I'm home as opposed to having to, zip and zoop to get home. So this is great, but what's not so great is how close this proposed extension is to this neighborhood. And we back up to this road here, which is Felix. So this is fairly close. So that's going to be, I don't know how much this traffic noise is going to affect us and how that's going to affect values for people. And again, they're supposed to be building houses on this side as well, because this land does belong to Pulte, and I'm sure they didn't just buy it to sit on it. So that's in the works. I think they're still a few years out from building out this side because they're still working over here. And then there's also supposed to be a new subdivision coming up in this area somewhere. I can't exactly remember where, but there's a new subdivision coming up here. There's supposed to be some new businesses coming up down this Attaway road here. So all of this is going to help them. And then here you got the State Road 287, which this is going to feed off directly into the main vein of Florence itself. So, and then there's it's not a highway, but it's what we call a highway. Here, this 287 actually takes you, if you go west, takes you into Chandler, Phoenix, Casa Grande, all that stuff over there. And then right over here, you got Coolidge. So all of these people are going to be using this exit here, this 287 exit, and then this Martin Road exit. 9 times out of 10, this Bartlett Road exit as well. So all of these people are going to be using that. And it's going to keep going down. Now, why do I not talk about all of this? So right now you've got Eloy, Arizona City down this way here. So there's not a lot of population down there as of right now. So a lot of this part of the road is going to be just straight travel for us trying to get through here to get to the 10. But again, it makes it so much easier to get to other places. Once this is complete, now we're going to be looking a little West Valley-ish. Because build it and they will come, the people will come, because now they don't have to use that as an excuse of why I won't move to Florence or why I won't move to Coolidge because I can't get to it. Well, you will be able to get to it at some point. So that's going to open up a pool of new home buyers, new renters, new businesses, all those things. So, um, but just I wanted to give you an idea of where this road is gonna go. Now, where it's gonna end up at on the 10, if you know this area, then this makes a lot of sense. But this is State Road 87. As of right now, that is the last Pinal County exit to Tucson from here on the 10 is the 87. Or if you need to go to Casa Grande, you can come down this way and go that up to Casa Grande. So this is going to really help um alleviate a lot of traffic. I don't know the cost of it and how that's been, figured out, who's paying for it. I have no idea. But at this point, I'm just looking at the sensibility of it. It's necessary. There are just too many people here. These roads are too small. They've got to do something. And they're working on it. So I appreciate that. So this is a long-term plan that's going to happen. As of right now, there's still no funding for it. So we're getting this part done, and I guess they're going to figure out what it's going to cost again and how that's going to come into play later down the road. But if this is something that concerns you, intrigues you, or you just want to know what is going on, the comment period for the public, the general public, is now until September 8th. So if there's something you want to say, this is your time to do it. If you want to go to an actual public meeting, there are 3 meetings coming up in the month of August, one on the 7th, one on the 12th, one on the 14th. Make yourself available for those. That way you can't say, I didn't know, because they're making it their business to let us know. So we need to do our part as well. If you have something to say about this, sure, absolutely. I appreciate you commenting on my video, but you need to go directly to ADOT, to the Arizona Department of Transportation, and make your concerns, your voice heard. There is an email in this link here. If you want to email and find out information, there's a phone number here, 602-474-3990. If you want to call them, I don't know who answers the phone, but if you want to call them, there's a number there. So again, this is what this is going to look like. If this is something that is going to help you, hey, give me a thumbs up in the comment. If this is something where you're like, I don't like it, give me a face in the comment that shows me that you don't like it. Either way, if there's anything I can do for you in the realm of real estate or anything in general, give me a call, 623-207-7146, and we'll talk later. Bye.